Hello, and welcome to the Oregon Files podcast. First, a quick note about today's episode. Today, we're going to interview Terry Brock from the Sutherlin Throwdown, which is an exciting event featuring a sanctioned barbecue competition, brewfest, cornhole tournament, and live music, creating a lively atmosphere for all attendees. All proceeds from the event support the Made for Trade Scholarship Fund, an initiative dedicated to empowering aspiring skilled workers. Through scholarships, mentorship, and hands-on experiences, Made for Trades connects the next generation of trades professionals with local industries. The ultimate goal is to strengthen the workforce and foster a thriving, resilient community. None of this can be done without a great board of directors for this nonprofit. That board of directors includes Gary Fadness, Hunter Fadness, Melissa Knapp, Becca Miller, Shauna Newquist, John Stone, Val Miller, Lisa Brock, and of course, Terry Brock, who you'll hear from today. Thank you. Enjoy the episode. Hello, and welcome to the Oregon Files podcast. First, our disclaimer. We are novice podcasters simply for entertainment and knowledge. If we misquote or offend, it was not on purpose to do so. Now, today, once again, we are back with the Roseburg Library. Our good friends here were in a room. And if you're lucky, you'll hear about the conversation going on in the next room, which is a gentleman having lag issues on a Saturday morning with whatever conference he's at. But first, my co-host, Elliot Bowman.
Oh, hopefully you don't hear. Thank you so much, Mark. And also thank you again, Logan Bennett from the Oregon State Garden Extension Service. I know you had a more of official title than that, but thank you again, Logan, for your time talking all things plants and everything you do there, man. Keep up the good work. Appreciate all the services you're doing for the community and small farms and gardens and plants and sharing your wealth of knowledge with us, man. And if you want to get a hold of the show, it's OregonFilesPodcast@yahoo.com. Mark puts the episodes on YouTube. We're on Instagram, Oregon Files Podcast. Our website is back up and running. It's www.theoregonfilespodcast.com. You can get merch on there. Sweatshirts are still good this time of year. T-shirt, hats, long tees. You can also contact us through the website. Yeah, like Mark said, we're back here at the Roseburg Public Library, which it's probably been a few episodes since we've been here. And today we have another really, really good guest. We have Mr. Terry Brock, who is one of the co-founders of the Sutherlin Throwdown Festival. I myself have attended each year, so I was excited when Terry agreed to doing this. And what probably a lot of people don't know is Mark and I reach out to quite a few bit of people to try to come on here and talk to us. So when we do have people come on, we really, really appreciate just time and effort and just coming on and talk with us. Terry, thank you so much, sir. Officially welcome. A beautiful Saturday morning.
Yes. Hey, I can't imagine anybody saying no to you guys. I just appreciate being here a whole bunch.
Thanks.
Yeah, my wife and I both are, we founded the Throwdown. We actually founded the Throwdown about 7 years ago is when we first started. We didn't know it was going to end up being a throwdown. We didn't know it was going to be what it was when we first began, but it's just kind of grown. It's evolved from there.
Awesome. Are you originally from Oregon?
Yeah. I was actually born in Canyonville. Not a lot of people brag about that, but yeah, I was born in Canyonville, just down the highway a little ways.
Yeah. Canyonville's a cute little town, though.
Yeah.
So would you mind telling us kind of the history, or like kind of the backstory, how Sutherlin Throwdown kind of came to be?
Absolutely. Yeah, it'd be my pleasure. Well, my wife and I, we got to tossing cornhole bags around a little bit. We thought, well, it's a lot of fun. We never got really good, but we had fun with it. So we decided that we'd have a cornhole tournament. We had a parking lot down the street, and so we set up a tournament, invited our friends, and we actually got a hold of a guy. His name is Ryan Travis, who has Southern Oregon Cornhole, and he decided he'd partner up with us and put on an event. Our first year we started, I don't know, we probably had 25 or 30 teams, come join us. Yeah, it was pretty cool. We had a great time. We enjoyed it so much that we did it the following year, and we were doing this in conjunction with the Blackberry Festival. Okay. We had same weekend, all that stuff. We were just down the street. So little known thing about cornhole players is they got to have have their counterbalance, and that's that beer in their hand, right?
Right.
So, and Blackberry, they were all about it, but they're non-alcohol, so we had to be down the street.
Okay.
They supported us 100%, but yeah, we
Wow.
we were separated in that way.
25 to 30 teams.
So yeah, it
That's
was a good
awesome.
start.
Yeah.
Well, we can thank Ryan Travis for that because
Yeah.
he's great at what he does and he has a good following. So he gave us a good start.
Pretty good cornhole player.
Ryan?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he'll tell you that.
Yeah. I love corn. Are you good at corn? Have you played cornhole once?
You know, I'm all right. I wouldn't bet on it, but I'd be dangerous.
Well,
Yeah.
I definitely agree. Cornhole, I get a little better the more I have beverages in my hand.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
You got to have that balance. Well,
Yeah.
I started out, I bought a set of bags, just because I didn't have a board because I couldn't hit them anyway.
Yeah.
I started out by trying to hit the back of my truck, and then we went from there. But,
Yeah. So how did that turn into the Sutherlin Throwdown?
well, that's where we kind of grew from there. So we realized that we'd outgrown our parking lot, and the city of Sutherlin, they had eyes on us a little bit too, and we had some friends there, and within the city. And they had actually invited us to a meeting and wanted to know what we'd like to do with that and so on. And, we told them that we'd like to expand, we want to grow, but we're just out of room. And at that time we asked them if we could use the park or at least the tennis courts at the park. And they said, absolutely. So,
wow.
yeah, it was a
Just
good deal.
like that, huh?
Just like that. And then since they were in a absolutely mood, we went ahead to ask them about a barbecue competition. And they said absolutely about that too. And then we went on from a barbecue to a brew fest to, can we use the stage? And they were all about it. Sutherland is fantastic about really wanting to promote the city and help our community out. So having events that draw people in that's a total plus for us.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
Right.
yeah, they were all about it. And then we just kind of went on and started planning from there.
Right. And this year, July 17th through the 19th are the dates this year.
Yeah, the 17th is actually not a real good time for the communities to come out because we spend all day long setting up.
Got it.
We start out at 5 o'clock in the morning,
Okay.
and then through about 10 o'clock at night that evening, it is what it takes us to get set up.
Yeah. This will be my 4th year going. I've enjoyed every single year. The first year I was like, I love barbecue competitions and a little beer. I thought it was fantastic. But yeah, I love it. And it's also, my birthday is July 25th. So like, to me, it's like a little early birthday celebration. So I love going out there. And
There we
it's a
go.
lot of
Maybe
fun.
we'll have to have a little happy birthday song.
No,
for you.
no. So I'm super curious, like, how did you kind of get like the word out to all like the barbecue trucks from different, because I noticed they're not just from local, they're from all over. How did you kind of get the word out to other, vendors and stuff?
They are. And so once we said, let's have a barbecue competition, then we realized what we got ourselves into. And we wanted to make it a sanctioned barbecue competition. Not that local barbecue isn't good, because it really is.
Right.
But sanction means that, it makes it a little bit more official. And then it allows us the ability to reach out a little bit further and try to get some of these teams that are from out of town. What we want to do is we want to bring out of towners into our town. Having a sanctioned barbecue competition does exactly that. We decided whether we were going to sanction with Pacific Northwest Barbecue, which is located out of Seattle, or Kansas City Barbecue Association, which is, that's a little ways away. Yeah, our first year we went ahead and we went with the Pacific Northwest Barbecue, and so on. That was good. We started learning from day one, from the first time we had a conversation with those folks about what sanctioned barbecue was about. And then we realized that we just need to hit the road. So my wife and I know, tough job, but we hit the road. We started going to barbecue competitions all over. It's a lot of them up in Washington, because Pacific Northwest Barbecue is mainly Washington and Oregon,
Right.
and so on. But we would go there, we'd meet people, meet teams, hand out flyers and stuff, and try to get them to come
cool.
to our competition. And we were basically recruiting while we were learning at the same time.
And tasting.
And yeah, we had to a little bit of that too,
Right.
of course. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a bad gig.
I know. The rest of the board thinks we've got the good job, but it's
Sure.
actually, there's a lot of work for sure.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's tons of work. I think one of my favorites, I don't know if they've been there every year, and I can't remember the food truck which truck it's called. They have like the little biscuit, and they have like that sweet jelly, and the thing might be a little spicy
Oh boy,
jelly.
you're singing right up the Nitro Boys' alley right
Yes.
there. They're
Oh
local.
my gosh.
So I got to tell you, we've got some local teams
Yeah,
that really rock it.
oh,
They do a
so
great
good.
job. So yeah, you're talking about the Nitro Boys. They call it a brisket on a biscuit.
Yes, brisket
Yeah.
on a biscuit.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude,
Yeah.
it's so good.
Fantastic.
And the first time I ever tried alligator, was it alligator or crocodile? I think it might have been alligator.
Yeah.
Alligator.
Yeah.
I think a couple of years ago was the first time I tried alligator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've got Victor Perez. He comes down from Salem, from the Salem area. Super Skewers.
Yeah.
He comes down. It's open fire. It's open fire
Yeah.
pit. So he'll build a fire on the ground and he'll cook whatever we drag in.
It's kind of, it's almost kind of intimidating. It's like a prehistoric kind of like pit with this alligator just out in the open. It's kind of cool looking.
That's fun.
But have you ever tried alligator?
I did when they had them on pizza here once in the town.
Well, this alligator is intact. You know, it's head and claws and all that stuff. If you want to kind of get the look of what it,
it's kind of interesting.
And then he'll do a hog or a lamb or something like that. I've actually seen him cook like a whole steer, open pit on the ground.
Oh.
Now we haven't done that yet in Sutherlin, but he's game. All we got to do is say, hey, we got this for you to cook, and he's actually, well, and it's kind of cool because he's actually even brought in people. He brings in people from Texas and stuff that that will help him because there's a little work to be done there. And of course, I guess what I'm saying is it's a good environment, And so far we've talked a lot about beer, but it's important that people understand that we do samples of beer. It's not like big chugs of beer and so on. Very, very, very family friendly.
Right.
Very good.
Yeah, it's like little tastings.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I kind of like about the barbecue too. Like the food itself is that you just kind of get little tasting and samplings of each one. You don't get like too full from just like one truck. You kind of just go around and taste. And there's another one I really like. It's like a meatball. It's like on a stick, and I think in the middle of it's like a mozzarella cheese.
Oh, those are Matt Morgan's hog balls.
Hog balls,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
Those are so good.
Yeah.
Yes, and I like the pork belly. And then my wife discovered a couple years ago I think it was one of the local wineries had wine slushies. And that was because it's usually pretty hot and, towards the late summer, and the wine slushies are good to stay cool during the heat. So the first year you kind of get up and running, what's sort of like the expectation you guys had, like as far as not only people coming, but maybe like volunteers showing up and helping and, kind of getting from the ground up, what was kind of like, what you were sort of aiming for like expectation from the first year?
Well, we were really hoping to bring in a couple thousand people. We thought if we hit 2,000, 2,500, 3,000 at the tops would be pretty cool, for a first year event. So that was kind of what we were shooting for. And I'm glad you mentioned volunteers because I'll tell you what.
Right.
This wouldn't happen without our volunteers. It takes a ton. It takes a ton of people to pull something off like this.
Yeah.
The people showed up to help us out and so on. And we far exceeded our expectations. Our first year, we had about 7,400 people come through the Throwdown.
Wow. 7,400 people.
Yeah, it was
amazing.
Good. It was a great beginning, especially, coming back to actually getting people to come to Sutherlin. They didn't even know where Sutherlin was at.
Right.
It's like Sutherland,
Right.
down I-5.
Right.
And then for us, we did a lot of learning, as far as what does it take to put on a sanctioned barbecue competition. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. The judging, it's all blind judging. It's all, the judges can't see, they can't have any idea who cooked this serving of food and so on. And it takes a ton of judges, to pull this off.
Right.
Our first year we went with Pacific Northwest Barbecue, but then we've actually kind of moved to Kansas City Barbecue. And that's actually opened up some other opportunities for us too.
Right.
Year two, we moved into Kansas City Barbecue Association, and then we actually headed south. Instead of just going over to Washington and Oregon, my wife and I jumped in the car and we headed to California. That's kind of where she's from anyway, so it was kind of nice for her to get down in some warm weather, and we met teams down there, and we were received fantastic from them folks too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So it's like each like association has like a group of different food trucks. Is that kind of how it works, or different teams that are associated with like this Kansas City Association or Pacific Northwest?
Yeah. So there's two main sanction agencies, and there's others too, you know. And honestly, I don't even know them all, and I don't want to offend anybody by trying to name them and so on. But we've dealt with Pacific Northwest Barbecue, and we've dealt with Kansas City Barbecue Association, and they are two separate because they've got separate scoring methods and tallies and so on. So basically, what this is, sanctioned barbecue, it's basically a circuit. These folks travel from state to state, and they go all over the place and what they do is they earn points and they earn, so what they're trying to do is they're trying to get to the World Championship. They're trying to get to the Kansas City Royal or the Jack Daniel's Barbecue Championships.
Pitmasters.
That kind of thing. I mean, it is a really big deal. And same thing with the judges. The judges, they'll come in. Like we had judges last year that came from the East Coast. We had a guy that come from Scotland. Yeah, it was.
I had no idea.
Yeah, there again too, our judging we have that in the community center, and the barbecue competition itself. It's different meats than actually what we're serving or what they're serving to the public.
Okay.
When we serve to the public, we serve what the people like, and the teams will cook up all kinds of. That's where you can get crazy and creative.
Right.
But when you do a sanctioned barbecue competition, you've got certain meats that you cook.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they're tasting different things than like what I would be tasting?
For the most part. Like you're not going to get alligator. Alligator doesn't count, and hog balls and brisket on a biscuit, that kind of stuff. So sanctioned barbecue, it is chicken, it is pork ribs, it's pork, and it's brisket. Those four meat categories. Okay. And they're all judged, and all the judging is actually set up so that the judges are trained and they're shown how the criteria is. They're trying to keep it so it's fair, it's equal, and so on, so that each of the teams come in and they're judging like for like. Kind of a deal. So,
interesting.
Yeah.
And does the beer get judged too?
Not yet, but we kind of toyed around with that. It'd be kind of fun to have like a beer competition because that's kind of a big thing too. Oregon's great for beers.
Yeah. We've done some brewery episodes. Yeah, Oregon's got a real rich history with breweries.
Yeah.
I mean, if you need a judge,
right. So you probably can come back the next day and do some barbecue judging and some brewery.
I would love to be in your.
Yeah.
I'd love me some judging.
You guys would be a mess in no time.
Have you had a favorite thing you've eaten, like, or maybe like top 3 favorite things that you've tried?
Well, you got me called down on the brisket on a biscuit. That's very good. And what I got to do, because I'm kind of like this guy I'm going to get called out if I call anybody particular. So I'm going to stay neutral. But my wife wants everybody to know that her favorite is the bread pudding. They make a smoked bread pudding, and that's fantastic. That's a team out of Portland that come down. They're called Smoking Timbers. They come down and that's their thing. That's what they vend on Saturday, but on Sunday they're very serious competition barbecue team.
Okay. So does the competition take place on Sunday?
Yeah, the actual barbecue competition takes place on Sunday. Okay. Now Saturday that's community day,
right?
And we've encouraged. We've encouraged the team, say, hey, come on down. We get you loaded in on Friday, and then on Saturday it's open. People come on in. Right. People will buy tokens, and they'll exchange those tokens for samples of beer and barbecue, beer, wine, barbecue. Mm-hmm. And then on Sunday, it's open to the public as well. The vending is not quite as heavy, but that's when the competition starts. Their first meat turn in will be at 11 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
And they'll turn in their chicken at 11 o'clock. And then at 11:30, they'll turn in their ribs. And then at 12 o'clock, they'll turn in their pork. And then at 12:30, they'll turn in their brisket.
Okay.
And then it takes a while for the judging to get completed. And then about 3:30, 4 o'clock is when we give out our awards.
What's usually like the top prize or?
Well, we offer $10,000 in prize money. I know.
Wow.
And it's kind of one of those deals.
That's pretty good.
I think, Douglas County has been really good. They've been really supportive of us and so on. But when you're talking about teams coming, we've got a team that comes from Arizona. We got teams from South Dakota, Idaho, all over the place. I mean, they travel a long ways.
Right.
We had 12. I think we had 12 teams from California last year and a bunch from Washington and then, of course, all over Oregon.
Right.
We got to throw a little salt on the table to get them to come to us, right?
Sure. Yeah, it's such a fun event. I hope be good out there this year.
I'd love,
even if like you don't partake in a lot of it. Just the people watching is also fantastic too.
Oregon's got the best people to
There's
watch.
some good.
Yeah.
There's some good.
We have a variety of that too, right?
Yes,
So
right.
you know what, and what I would say to folks too is come on out, because to see the rigs, to see these
Right.
smokers and these big,
That's awesome.
yeah, I mean they roll in, and some may roll in, they got a 10x10 pop up,
Right.
and they do a great job of cooking, and so on. But then some of them are rolling, they'll pull a 35-foot trailer with smokers and
That's awesome.
all kinds of stuff hooked to
Yeah,
them.
the contraptions are really, really, really cool. And as far as the cornhole competition, has it been one team kind of winning year after year? Have you had like
No.
a good variety of teams winning for the last couple of years?
Yeah, I think it's a mix. And the longer we go with this, the more people hear about it,
Yeah,
and we attract teams. We offer $5,000 in prize money
Shoot.
for the cornhole competition. But what I might say to that is that's a lot of money, but we also charge entry. It's $100 a team. So if we offer,
That's not bad.
yeah. So if we hit 50 teams, then we've made our money back on that prize money, and we're usually anywhere from 75 to 85 teams that come.
Hmm.
Our goal is 100 or 100 plus, so we'll get there eventually.
Right. Do you have sort of an expectation already for this year kind of set out, or will you kind of not know until it gets closer, like day of sort of thing?
It's hard. It's really tough to predict. I expect for it to get better and better and better. And that's just the attitude that we have. We want to work hard and just make things better for folks and so on. And so far, it's grown. Like I told you, the first year we had over 7,000 people come through.
Yeah, that's
Last year
amazing.
we were just shy of 10,000 people.
Wow, last year was just shy of 10,000?
Just shy of 10,000 people.
I'm
Yeah.
proud one of those 10,000.
Yeah. You were there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. And what that does for a community, that's 10,000 people. I mean, at the stores, the gas stations, the
Right.
hotels, it just reverberates throughout the whole community.
It does. Yeah. And we're really happy there again too. I mean, this is about our community, and we're really happy too because we have it at our park. And when we can get people to get off I-5 and drive through our town, and have everybody sweep off your porch, and get ready for visitors and so on. That, to me, I think that's, to have a positive economic impact on our community is really fantastic.
Right. So let's talk about the purpose, or like kind of the goal for the Sutherlin Throwdown, as far as, what some of the funds kind of go to. I guess we were talking about like Made for Trades is kind of an organization that's involved with kind of what you're involved with too.
Yeah. From the very beginning, we become a nonprofit. And when we filled out the paperwork to become a nonprofit, you got your options of, what is your nonprofit about? And for me, it's all new to me. I'm just a volunteer. I've been a tradesman my whole life. I grew up logging and working in the mills, and then I stumbled into an electrical career, which was fantastic for me. Becoming, once I retired and I got the gab in my mouth and stuff, and started getting involved with this, the volunteer thing, and and the Throwdown and all that stuff. But when we checked that box for what our cause and what our purpose was, we said education of youth, and we meant it. It wasn't just a way to get a nonprofit. It's the heart and soul of what we do with the Throwdown. So we offer scholarship, and we started out relatively small. Well, let me take that back. Strike that. We didn't start small. We started big from the very beginning. We started out with the idea that, if I go to Sutherlin and I ask for sponsorships, that's great. Then Sutherlin is automatically involved, and Oakland, same thing. But I've scratched on every door in Douglas County. So what we've done is we've made our scholarship applications open to all the high schools in Douglas County. So anybody that's interested in pursuing a career in some sort of a skilled trade, then by all means, we want you to put in for our trade scholarships. Our first year, we gave out $20,000 in scholarships to students from all over Douglas County.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we're really proud of that. We went from never even done a barbecue competition before or anything to actually being able to offer that much opportunity for students.
That's amazing. How do students apply for those scholarships?
Well, so we've actually got two different scholarships going on now, and we're super excited about how we're just evolving. So we have the ones that actually you apply through the schools, through the high schools, and that timeline is, if it isn't up, it's almost up right now. And then we have our Made for Trades scholarship program. What we did last year is, having done the competition for 3 years, we realized that a lot of people were coming and going. They didn't know really what we were about. We shouted out our students and so on that we'd given scholarships to, but we decided we were going to do something a little bit bigger last year. So we had a shed built. We did that, and we did that on site. for the most part, we did on site. We realized that we couldn't take raw material and build sheds out of it in a day, and we have one day to do that for the most part. So what we did is we recruited students from all over Douglas County. If you want to be a part of this, sign up with us and so on. So we met with our kids. We started out with, I call them kids, they're young workers, So we started out with our people, met with them, met with the parents and so on, told them kind of what we wanted to do. And then we decided we were going to build 3 sheds and realized that the timeline was a bit of an issue. So what we did is we met with our students at our builder, L&M Custom Builders out of Sutherlin. So the students would go to Val and Becca's house on the weekend, on Sunday after church, and then we started building kits. We started out the first day, we built decks. Then we built walls. Then we built roof assembly and so on. And once that was all good and go and ready to go, they actually practiced assembling them out at Val and Becca's place. And then we moved that stuff out on site on Friday on setup day. And then come Saturday morning, 8:00, it was mark, set, go, put them together. And there again, too. So what that did is it gave the kids, for one, it gave them a great learning experience over the weekends so that they didn't get shoved out of the way because we got to hurry up, right? So the kids got that experience. And then putting them on site, when we put them center stage, we put them right in the center because we wanted everybody to know what they were doing.
Yeah.
And the kids they had a good time because they had a whole crowd of people walking by and looking at them and watching them, all their studly skills and stuff. So the sheds got put together. And the other thing too was we told the students, it's like, hey, you got to help us just like the the FFA and the lamb shows and all this stuff. You got to help us find buyers. And they did. They went out. They took letters to, for people to come and watch and see, and then also to bid. And long story short is we built 3 sheds. They built 3 sheds. And when the auction was over, they made $18,300.
Wow.
Yes.
That's awesome.
What we did with that, and that's the second scholarship fund. So the students that started with us and finished with us actually gets that $18,300. We have that set up in an account for them.
Cool.
That's amazing. I love that.
Yeah. It's so what they got to do is they actually got to learn, they got to build, they took pride in what they built and so on, and they actually earned their scholarship.
Yeah, that is an awesome idea. Is that what's going to be done this year as well?
We're working on things, and so the Made for Trades is not just a one-time event. The Sutherlin Throwdown, that is the showcase. That's the party. That's the celebration. We want people to come out and celebrate with us and so on. Part of what we're going to be celebrating in our community, and we're going to celebrate Douglas County, but we're also going to celebrate Made for Trades and what we've done throughout the year. Yeah. So we're working on projects right now.
Yeah.
You may have noticed that the Made for Trade students are working on some dugouts for Sutherlin Valley Rec out of Sutherlin.
Okay.
And we'll take on some other projects too.
Awesome.
That's the best.
And a lot of the info I noticed, and maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of the info I see a lot of info on Facebook on just the Sutherlin Throwdown page. And I think you guys have a website too, sutherlinthrowdown.org.
Yes,
a lot of information.
Mm-hmm.
And then if folks want to kind of get involved or volunteer for anything that you have going on, what's kind of a best way to kind of contact you for?
Well, there's many. I try to be very contactable when it comes to people wanting to help out.
Yeah.
So you can absolutely get a hold of us through sutherlinthrowdown.org. That's our website. You can reach out to us on Facebook, or if you want to. My wife and I own the body shop Total Fitness in Sutherlin.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to prop the body shop by any means.
I was going to ask you. Yeah.
But if you guys want to pop in there, you're welcome to pop in there as well. Yeah, we're always looking for people that want to be involved, that want to be engaged. If this is something that strikes your heart, because it does ours, then drop in and chat with us. There is a place for you. What we're finding is the needs are great. The needs are vast. We need, these students can use that hands-on experience. They can use that positive environment. They can use the experience of working with their hands and building something that they're proud of. Yeah. And housing is short. We're working on building builders. We're working on building people that have the confidence and the skills to actually go into a trade, and flourish in that way. Now we realize too that we're not gonna build framers. We're not gonna build carpenters in a short period of time. But what we can do is we can give them a good start. Let them test drive. And I told you we started with 12 kids. We finished with 7.
Wow.
And the truth is, we kind of almost got to call that a success too, because we had some kids that decided that wasn't for them. It's hot. It's hot. It's hard work. And they're not ready yet. but we'll be open for them in the future. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That is
Paying it
Terry.
forward. It's
That's
the way it
awesome,
should be.
man.
Yeah,
That's just such a great cause, dude. I mean, that's you're teaching them skills and you're having them. I mean, they're learning also the value of money too, because they're putting their hands in the dirt, they're putting their hands on material, and they're learning. I'm building this, and this is kind of my reward for putting that hard work in. And
absolutely.
that's killer, man. That's awesome.
So our goals and hopes are that we're going to expand. We're going to grow. Right now we're actually able to give them some building projects and stuff that, that they can get their hands dirty on. We want to take on other projects.
Yeah.
We want to work with, we're excited about doing things that are community involved too. What we're doing is we're building potential tradespeople, but we're also building potential leaders.
Right.
And if we could do something that actually, if it engages it, if it makes our community better,
Sure.
then what better way to build leaders than that?
Oh, absolutely.
Good character people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome, man. So, a few more questions here, and we'll let you go. What advice would you give your younger self?
That's a good one, because I could have really used a lot of advice of my younger self. I would say you don't have to know exactly what you want to do for the rest of your life. That's what we see. We see that. I see that in the students all the time. My wife and I we're having we love our students at the gym and so on. So we're asking them, what are you going to do now that you're not a cute little high school kid and you got, you're going out into the
Right.
what they call the real world, and they just don't know. I say, younger self, try some things, but also be responsible about how you try things too. Debt. And sometimes, and I'm not bagging on college, because college is good. I want the doctor that works on me to have a good college degree,
Sure.
but try some things that aren't going to leave you in so much debt, and that's where I can say that, trades, there's good opportunity out there, and you can make a good family wage and not end up in so much debt. And the other thing I would say to my younger self would be, get involved with the community. Get involved, be a positive impact on the community.
It's great advice. So when you're not working with Sutherlin Throwdown and Made for Trades and doing all your organizations, what do you kind of do in your downtime? What does your relaxed time look like?
Well, I'm going to have to dig back and try to find out what that actually did look like. Actually, my wife and I, we took up golf here, it was a couple of years ago.
Okay.
And we enjoy that. We enjoyed it different though, because my wife is good. Just, she just wants to get out there and cruise around in a golf cart and enjoy the sunshine. I want to hit the ball, but and I haven't accomplished that yet. So yeah, we enjoy. A good evening at the golf course is kind of fun.
Nice.
We like to camp. We like to get away.
Sure.
And so on.
Sure.
And we like to take trips. We like to travel a little bit here and there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice. I'll let Mark ask you round it up here.
Holy mackerel. Okay. So we got to ask this question of everybody, because it's the theme of the podcast sometimes. Have you had any Bigfoot or paranormal experiences?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet, but I'm keeping my eyes peeled just in case.
Yeah.
And I was going to say something. You can cut this out if you want to, but if anybody runs into a Bigfoot, we're always looking for that critter for Victor to barbecue up.
That's so funny.
No, that'd probably get me in trouble.
That's amazing. That's pretty good, actually.
I don't think Bigfoot's an endangered species. I think you're all right.
We totally comes out really gamey. Like you're cooking, you're like, oh man,
That's very funny.
this guy tastes like he's been in the forest for 100 years.
Right.
If you could invite 3 people to a dinner party, dead or alive, who would they be?
I thought about that a lot. And the serious side of it would be, I'd invite my son for sure. I lost him 20 plus years ago.
Oh.
I'd invite my dad, and I'd invite my brother. I think that would be nice. I just want them to know that I love them, and that I'm trying, and I want to do them right for sure.
Terry, it's the best answer we ever got. It's the first time we've ever had where someone picked 3 family members. I love that. So
Thank you.
great answer. Do you have a favorite sandwich? I know, terrible segue. Terrible.
Yes. Well, I told you that I worked in the woods and I worked in the mills and stuff like that. So bologna sandwich is out. I ate lots and lots and lots of bologna sandwich. I'm going to have to say ice cream sandwich. That's the best of them.
I love ice cream sandwich.
Yeah. Oh, you have.
Oh, and then favorite movie.
Braveheart.
Okay.
No doubt.
Braveheart.
I can watch that over and over and over and over. Yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much again, Terry. So the dates officially are July 17th to the 19th, but the best day for the public to go out is probably July 18th, which
July
is a
18th.
Saturday.
Yeah, July 18th is going to be probably the best day, but I don't want to undersell Sunday
Right,
too, because
right.
Sunday's a nice day. So we'll start out, we've got our barbecue teams that will register at 8 o'clock in the morning. The park starts kind of waking up at about 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then our band starts. We've got a band that will come in and they'll start at 7 o'clock. We'll have some sort of we'll have an auction of some sort. We want to introduce our scholars. We want to introduce our made for trade students. We always try to get some of our prior scholarship winners to come back and tell us how school is or how it was and what they're doing with their lives now.
Yeah.
So we got some things that will happen from about 6 o'clock until when the band starts, and then some other things beyond that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And again, SutherlinThrowdown.org. I find a ton of info on here on Facebook, just other Sutherlin Throwdown. And anything else you would love for people to know before we kind of close out shop here, sir?
Yes. So our Made for Trades program, we're just getting kicked off, and I don't want to undermine that in any way, shape, or form. Our website is up. It's not exactly where we want it to be yet, and so on. But I mean, be patient with us there. Keep our Made for Trades program in mind. And as far as the Throwdown goes, come out and enjoy yourselves, and so on. You can enter the park. It doesn't cost you anything to get into the park.
Right.
It costs you for tokens and so on. But if you want to come in and just hang out and be with us and stuff and see what we do and learn what we do. I also want to shout out our sponsors. If it weren't for our sponsors, if it weren't for our trades partners there, helping us to afford to even put this thing on, and then actually to be out there and to be contributors and be a part of the event too, we like for any of our trades partners, if they want to, set up a pop-up, make it a gathering place if that's what you want to do, or if you want to market your business and what you do and show folks who you are and what you are, by all means, for sure.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again so much for not just today, but for everything you do, for obviously the amazing work you're doing, the community and going forward, and filling my belly on July 18th and with food and beer. And it was an absolute pleasure to meet you. And I look forward to maybe seeing you in July or before then. So
we'll be there too. I'll tell you what, we got a great board. We got a great committee of people that'll be working along too. And we definitely not be where we're at without the people behind us and so on. And shout outs to our board of directors and our committee members as well.
Awesome, man. Love it. And if you want to get a hold of our show, it's OregonFilesPodcast@yahoo.com. Mark puts it on the good old YouTube, Instagram, websites. That's it. Happy day, and thank you all.
Cheers.
Cheers.